Let's see, best of 7, NIWA to start off with the serve.
1 love.
Fast long to the backhand. Testing Fang Bo is going to keep him awake there. Ooh, attempted shot block on the backhand side. Ooh, short side, clever play, a little surprise from NIWA. Leaves it on the other side of the table. A lot of spin coming in. Again, fearless Koki NIWA, not afraid to try and take it right off the bounce. This takes confidence, again, to take those shots. It's a natural reaction to back off the table. Yeah, I believe right now, Fan Zhendong is using the Fang Bo blade.
3-2.
You could see Fang Bo out there with the Viscaria. Made popular by Zhang Jike.
3
Cracking
balls.
forehand goes long and quickly tied back up at the first towel break. Now, both of these players are great to watch for different reasons. Fang Bo seems like he can run down just about everything, keep the ball in play. His forehand is massive. Koki NIWA is just so creative. You really never know what's going to happen. From his ballroom reception to chop blocks around the net shots.
Let 3-4. Let 3-4.
Oh, man.
4.
Again, a surprise, short side. NIWA not afraid to let it drop off the table and play it low. Watch how late he takes this ball. Still spins it shallow on the table, recovers that one, but it pops up just a little high. Flat hit swatting shot. If that comes down on the table, it's going to be in the highlights for sure.
Four, 5.
How many steps can he get in before going for that? We saw Quadri Aruna make one like this yesterday and fall into the barriers to win the point against Marcos Freitas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Seven, 4.
Clever idea, but in the receive game right now, Koki NIWA's percentages are not nearly what he wants them to be. Playing some high-risk receives.
4, 8.
This is what happens when you play it a little bit safer. Fang Bo waiting right there.
5, 8.
Heavy underspin, deceptive shovel serve.
Let 5, 8. 9, 5. 9, 6.
Now this is an example. If you're watching Koki NIWA, I was distracted. His hand came up, and I thought, interesting. I wonder if he wanted to let. Watch his hand right before the receive, not the head scratch. This time, not nearly as pronounced. The point before it came up quite high. 2-point differential now. Big opportunity
10.
here. We've seen Fang Bo change the grip on the racket to cover and play it back cross court with that backhand when it comes down. 3 game points.
11-7.
Fang Bo escapes relatively easily. 11-7 over Koki NIWA in game 1. Start was back and forth. We'll see what happens in game 2 coming up right after this.
Något trevande första set och Fang Bo är den som tycks ha mest råg i ryggen här i alla fall. Slutar 11-7 och ger kinesen ledning 1-0.
ラリーして相手の次のバックハンドからラリーだよで自分がチキータした相手こうやってからも
好，没关系，那都没关系，你就大胆发，知道没？发俩擦网有点细，说抓手上点一定要做完，做出去，然后就算他领，然后你往后照，退一点，把距离拉长点就给他一下，因为他悬在近台，你在中近台这个位置就行，真站近台你也拉不开手，是吧？现在接他发球也是一样，不用很没，他一会儿这一会儿那，不用很勉强，看好了摆一个，再吃准了过来领一个，啊，领完一会儿注意下面的衔接，只要打多板，他全面能掐鸡巴头，啊，稍微的你自己主要是要心定。
バックはこれからバック
Time, please.
Back for
Second
game number 2. Fang leading.
Fang to serve.
Also leading in the crowd cheer
Love
department. Has some supporters. Again, China, some of the most loyal fans in the world, coming from all over to see the Chinese national team players.
One love.
So
Love
crisp.
2.
Fang is going to have to be on the run for that forehand. Koki NIWA is going to have to find some surprise. Wide out to the forehand when he can. Aggressive in over the table.
Love 3.
It's a better idea, better setup. But again, that opening spin shot, tough to control. Here we go.
1.
Bit more speed, depth on the table, some side and top from Koki NIWA to get his first point. Let service.
3-1.
Ballroom reception and Koki NIWA just standing there. The funny thing is he blocks back shots with this body language, with this posture. He doesn't do the full step around. You know, if you're new to watching Koki NIWA, you would question if he even cares about this match watching a point like that. That's just his style.
1-5.
Playing game 7 all the way through game 7 against Dima at the Indian Open. Similar body language, but that's just Koki NIWA.
1-6. Seven, 1.
Quite a dominant score here in game 2. Coach Kurashima trying to find some answers as well, some good advice for his player. That's one way to do it.
7-2.
Long, relatively dead push, fast into the backhand side. Again, so nonchalant, Koki NIWA.
3-7.
That was probably the lowest energy Jiao Fangbo I've heard from the Chinese fans in my life.
4-7.
It's almost like they couldn't decide if he actually needed help from their fans, from his fans out in the crowd. They're like, he's leading. Should we finish it? Let's just say the words. Well played right into the middle. Good serve. The shovel serve with light topspin to earn a third ball. Okay, a little bit better. Small steps, baby steps. Second towel break. And Koki NIWA was dominated, and now he's within 2.
Let 7-5.
Even on the let serve, you can see the touch of Koki NIWA. 2 short bounces on the table.
Let 7-5.
Oh, that was the opportunity. He got the wide forehand early in the point. But again, this ball comes in with a lot of spin. Look at this. Koki NIWA trying for the touch shot to leave it back on the other side of the table. Test the feet of Fang Bo. Inside out, what a smooth shot. Koki NIWA, seriously, look at that. That nonchalance comes into play out here. Who else does that? Koki NIWA walks to a beat of his own drum. The power in the middle, Fang Bo controlling from behind the table, of course. 3-point differential here. Backhand to backhand, it's a 10-6 4-game point lead for Fang Bo.
And a
quick escape
Fang Bo.
From 5-7 to 11-6, Fang Bo regains control, and another 11-7 victory. Will be back for Game 3 right after this.
Kort mot sin japanske motståndare. Men man vet ju som bekant aldrig vad som händer i denna sport förrän alla sätt är färdigspelade. Minns Ryukatos nära på otroliga vändning mot Ju Ling bara här förleden.
あいつのサーブに対して切れてたらいいですよ。で、あともう全部チキータが真ん中かかってそこからラリーにしてもうちょっとラリーで点数全部これだけですからストップやってちっちゃいでそれとチキータで打ちするまだそこまでできてないあと取りづらいこれだから良くないなんかいろいろ意識
太足了，对，要不然就是割他一个。把球不用多么凶，起来突然形成多板就行，然后护好自己的步伐，啊，注意他灵敏的人往后一点，这就很好。
Third game, NIWA to serve, love all.
Back for game number 3, 2 11-7 victories for Fang Bo.
One love.
I'm curious to see again, first few shots of the rally, so important for Koki NIWA. One of the longest rallies we've seen in this match. But you can see that Fang Bo is very hungry at the back of the table, much like Quadri Aruna, able to take the forehand. And these are two forehand-dominated players, or dominating players, I should say, looking for that opportunity to attack
one
early.
All. One, two.
Trying so hard to avoid that forehand. Koki NIWA from a step behind the table is going to have very little room to play it so deep to the backhand that Fang Bo can't run around and take the forehand.
Two, three.
And these half-long serves are going to have to be on the shorter side. That or they're going to have to be long and fast. Because right now, the half-long serves drifting off the table have put Koki NIWA on the defense almost consistently. This is a much shorter, nice serve. By much, I mean just short enough to get a push out of Fang Bo. Even if that comes over the table, NIWA is going to be in control of the attack. Clever idea, just too wide. 25 years old is a good age. This is an age that's not peaked yet for Fang Bo. The Chinese national team, somewhere around 27 usually. Oh, short side, look at this, the leg sweep and everything else. This is as risky placement as you can get. He's got Koki NIWA on the other side of the table and completely surprised behind his back.
4, 5.
This is interesting. From a change of pace standpoint, Koki NIWA has a flatter backhand than most. He likes to punch the ball rather than go for the spinny shot. Fang is sometimes the same. Ooh, well played back into the body. Using whatever length on the table he could. Cross-court shot from NIWA to step into the lead.
Let 5-6. 7-5.
A little bit closer to the table on top of the bounce. Koki NIWA is able to keep the pressure on. This time at the second towel break, it's Koki NIWA in the lead. That was the beauty. The best shot we've seen from Fang yet. Inside out forehand to finish. We got to see the spinny Fang opening. But because it was spinny, there was a little arc, a little shallower on the table, a little more time for Koki NIWA to turn the corner, play it inside out. Also, the shallow bounce of the ball left more angle opportunity. Oh man, this one's tougher. Koki NIWA, shotgun reaction. Watch one more time. Hardly any backswing. Doesn't need a lot of backswing with that much pace coming in. 4-point lead here for the 23-year-old Japanese star. Right off the bounce again. Merciless, and he just goes back to clean the edge of the racket. One more time here. Not even giving the ball a chance to come up for air. 5 game points.
Let 5-10. 10-6.
Again, fearless play off the bounce. NIWA trying to stay in at the table. This is where he's best. His inside-out forehand has been very effective. Oh, a little help off the top of the net, but 2 game points saved by Fang. When he has time and he has clearance for that stroke, it's going to be tough to defend. Long serve to the backhand. This is solid for a lefty versus a righty coming from either side. And the score has been flipped. 7-11 all the way through, even in game 2, despite what it says on the screen. Tight games here. Koki NIWA on the scoreboard, and we'll be back for game number 4 right after this.
跟他打其实接不上，除非他让他的发力抽你上面接发力。所以你领完了，他这种基本上现在第一板不怎么去抽，特别不去你正手去的比较少，去站在你的中间，就是反手稍微的一定照脸弧线起来一点。所以发球当中还是一样，就是打的都还可以，就中间
不りでもいいし、回り込まれなかった。そこからバックでポンってやってくれば、それは早く来てももう一回行かないといけない。危ない。やはり本当1回2回増やしてけど絶対勝つ。でサーブをたまにロングサーブ、ロングサーブとか走ってるから、ロングサーブとちょっと逆回転。でもバックに返してきたらしっかり1球目のバックで頑張らないと強く。であとハーフロングベルサーブが強くなって、それがあとちょっと。
跟他来回稍微变一下，这种拉手稍微弧线起来一点。
Time please.
Back for game number 4. Fang losing his first game to Koki NIWA. NIWA at the top of the screen looking to score another game here. Off the bounce, inside out forehand down the middle of the table.
Let love 1. 1-all.
Little help from the net on Koki NIWA's side, and it's returned by Fang Bo.
Two, one.
It's a good length for the serve. If Fang Bo can't use the Chiquita there to get in, get the backhand in over the forehand side. Wow, forehand to forehand, and Koki NIWA wins the battle. You've got Fang Bo with one of the biggest forehands in the game. Quite strong. And yet Koki NIWA hangs in there for two. Step around, lots of side spin on that, testing the feet of Fang Bo again. Wide to the forehand early in the rally. This was the same strategy he used against Xu Xin. Now, Xu Xin obviously using the other hand, a left-handed player. But for forehand dominant players, the wide forehand is going to be a vulnerability point.
5-1.
That one I didn't even think was wide enough to keep pressure on, but still, NIWA with a solid block. You also have to remember, with that much of a forehand, such a big stroke, the recovery time, it takes longer for the attacker to recover from that forehand.
5-2.
Good combination here from Fang Bo. Two backhands followed by the finishing forehand. Can't recall the last time I've heard Koki NIWA grunt. Again, he's very shy, very quiet, but puts in a little bit of extra effort here on the receive. Again, early in the point. He's not going to be able to let Fang Bo take the first big swing.
7-3.
Again, it pays off. Now, a lot of conversation after the German Open about what is considered part of the net assembly. The net assembly quite different here. At least the table, anyway.
7-4.
In the German Open, the point with Timo Boll and Lin Gaoyuan did not hit the net assembly, but rather on the second bounce, the chassis, as they say, it's spelled chassis, the piece that runs up along the side of the table right near the net, but is not part of the net assembly, doesn't touch or help it hold.
5-7.
That same scenario will not be happening here. Second towel break of the game, and Fang Bo making his way back in. Now, while this isn't an absolute must, it feels like a pretty crucial game for Koki NIWA to secure, to keep the pressure on and maybe get Fang Bo a little bit hesitant. But again, aggressive early in the point, Koki NIWA.
6-7.
The touch shot was decided a little bit late, so it came long. This is why the half-long serve has become the main trend for years and years. It's the easiest way to get the receiver hesitating and making a weak receive.
7-all.
So Lu Guozheng satisfied with the last 4 points as Fang Bo has won all of them.
Timeout.
Interesting time for a timeout. Usually a timeout would happen sometime while there's still a lead, whether it's 1 point after 3 has been scored or 2. Coach Kurashima didn't feel it necessary. He was hoping to save it maybe on the last point.
タイミングで怖いんです。もうさ、こっちのサーブもこっちのサーブ
So in the service game, long into the backhand side, one way to go. Looks like there might be some questions about the shovel serve. Inside out spin from Koki NIWA to try and set up a third ball attack. Again, his step around forehand has been very effective. Fang Bo's standpoint, he can play the first backhand spinny, step around, take a forehand after that, create a wide angle. Again, from a footstep standpoint, A smaller player has a much smaller middle and has a tougher time with shorter footsteps to cover the ground wide on the angles. We talk about Koki NIWA playing wide to Fang Bo's forehand, but if Fang Bo can play wide to Koki NIWA's forehand early on, it's going to leave open a whole table for Koki NIWA to try to come back and recover. Different strengths for different physical shapes and sizes out here. Bigger, slower players tend to have better touch in general. Interestingly,
7 all.
Koki NIWA has excellent touch as well. Ooh, strong counter.
7.
Fang Bo with the opening backhand, and Koki NIWA is already moving to cover. Watch his anticipation here. Short stroke. Just backing up a little bit, backpedaling to stay in the point. Sure enough, he takes it. 2 points in a row out of the timeout. Game is far from over. Now it's not so far. 3 game points for Koki NIWA to tie it up at 2 games apiece. We've seen Germany making their statement against the top Chinese men in the world. Japan, are you guys next? No, not yet. Inside out forehand. Fang Bo saves it. Third towel break of the game. NIWA spins it a little shallow on the table, but that wide ball from Fang Bo is tough. If I'm not mistaken, Koki NIWA, the only non-Chinese player still in the tournament for the men. And he takes the game 11-8. Koki NIWA ties it up at 2 games apiece. Game number 5 will put 1 player ahead. Stay here to find out who it's going to be. Game 5 coming up right after this. Back for game number 5. Koki NIWA has the momentum. He won the last 2 games.
All.
Now point for point, Fang Bo has only outscored Koki NIWA by 1. Oh, out of reach. That wide forehand, that's the spot. We've seen Fang Bo exploit it a few times. If he's confident with his backhand and if he's, well, equally confident on the step around, it's going to be a hole in Koki NIWA's game.
1 all.
The first few shots of the rally will dictate who controls the table. Sounds like real estate. Location, location, location.
One, two. Let 1, 2. 2 all.
some of the creative shots that we see from Koki NIWA off the backhand side of the racket. A little bit of side spin from chop blocks to something similar. Even top and side on that backhand.
3-2.
I think we're seeing a bit faster footwork here. NIWA looking to get that first attack in. And if that means running around the backhand corner, that's not going to stop him.
2-4.
It actually seems like his clear recipe. If Fang can prove him wrong and play it down the line to the forehand side every once in a while. But the serves of Koki NIWA, low to the net, handcuffing spin. First towel break and NIWA up. It's early in the game, anything could happen, but imagine a 3-2 lead for Koki NIWA. Little wiggle there from Koki NIWA.
2-5.
And every time he's turned the corner, the past 3 points in a row. Tempting Fang to try to play it down the line to the forehand. Oh, man!
5-3.
Really testing here. So many forehands, and finally Fang breaks it out down the line. It's not till this, the step around inside-out forehand. Koki NIWA almost hitting a home run. In India, I guess it'd be a 6 if it goes over the wall. 2 points between them. Let's see that handcuffing serve again. Oh, there it is. Steps around and plays it down the line. That's what has to happen. Fang playing that just right, using the spin from that modern receive to play it down the line. With that low serve, you need that extra spin on the ball to ensure your shot will come down on the table. This is a big point for Koki NIWA. His tactic has been broken. He's been forced out of stepping around the corner, but still manages to stay in control and take the point.
Let 4-6.
Opening attack from Fang, backhand side. Ooh, a little crowd cheering for NIWA there. Sweden getting on the NIWA train.
Let 5-6.
Oh, back edge of the table for Fang. 6 points apiece. Second towel break of the game. It seemed like for a moment the assistant umpire didn't hear it, but quickly corrected. Last one comes a little bit loose. Koki NIWA, a little surprised. But again, he's got quality shots coming in. Fang giving heavy spin, not so easy to counter. And then he gets an even tougher one to counter and counters it right back cross court. Little off the top of the net, yes. Difficult shot, absolutely. One of the crispest backhands I've seen from Fang this match.
Let 8-7.
Koki NIWA with the soft shot, getting defensive, stepping back just one step behind the table, manages to take the point. Placement, though, even from behind the table, placement's so important to make sure that you're in position, that your opponent doesn't have an easy winner against you. That was the serve I wanted to see from Koki NIWA, the fast deep into the backhand side. But his positioning, Fang makes a nice recovery to play cross court wide to the forehand, but can't recover for the next ball. Slow spinny one after all the firepower. Koki NIWA changes up the pace in the front row behind Koki NIWA. The NIWA chance. Speaking of chance, 2 chances here for Koki NIWA to take a 3-2 lead with the game points. Third towel break just finished. Fang has the serves.
Let 8-10.
Koki NIWA, 11-8, takes the 3-2 lead. The last standing Japanese player is still standing and standing tall, at least score-wise in games. It's 3-2. We'll be back for game number 6 right after this.
Gynnsamt utgångsläge för att se till att semifinalstadiet inte blir en helt kinesisk affär. Men det krävs ett set till och ett set är en ganska lång väg att vandra. Ska man inte glömma. Får se vad Koki NIWA kan åstadkomma mot sin motståndare Fang i set nummer 6.
是吧？包括你现在发动转，他摆转这种出台还是很多的。你就拉这种球可以直接拉他反手，没必要去拉这种。他发球出来这种球一定要往这种位置拉。他发球出来直接就侧身就少你两面，你很难受。就出台这种球一定不要侥幸，要不然你再放低点、更转点到他中间位置都可以，不一定非要拉到反手位置。但你自己主动进攻，你就拉不到反手，他就会怼着你的反手的。对吧？包括你现在发转，他那种回摆转，拉反手摆他这种摆出来都是很多，把球先起来就可以了。 对吧？自己先发球也是一样，吃准就干。
切り返し早く。切り返し早く。
Time, please. Sixth game. Fang ball to serve. Love all.
Alrighty, back. Game number 6. Fang down 2 games to 3 against Koki NIWA.
1 love. Let 1 love.
Oh, backhand is clean. You know, sometimes, like in the case of Mattias Karlsson, you've got a strong forehand and you forget how good the backhand is. Mattias Karlsson has the short pips on the forehand side and can flat hit as hard as anybody. Oh, a little bit off the top of the net. The reason I bring up Mattias Karlsson is because his backhand is very strong and steady. Now, Fang Bo's backhand does not have quite the threat that his forehand has. Big ripping backhand attempt from NIWA. Not a point yet in game number 6. From behind the table, it's going to be tough. We've seen him in the forehand-to-forehand exchange. But again, one thing you have to hand to Koki NIWA is he's not afraid. Shot block standing still in the second one. He could be drinking a cup of tea right now. Signing autographs, look at that. Koki NIWA. Nobody does this but Koki NIWA. That is unfreaking believable. That point right there could have just cost Fang 2 points in a row. What a way to get back into the match. Waldner did it once to Timo Boll, but I haven't seen something so devastating in table tennis as that shot we saw at 4-0. Wow.
3-4.
And suddenly it's a one-point game.
Timeout.
And the timeout is called. Jeez. This is why you have to love watching Koki NIWA play. Anything can happen. You couldn't stage a point better than that. If you were trying to create a character, that was like Chuck Norris in table tennis. Koki NIWA just stands there while muscular Fang Bo rips the shot 2 in a row. Koki NIWA's like, nah, I'm cool. I don't even have to blink.
关键在于你自己，你发挥好了之后，你肯定赢。关键就是你自己不能乱。
Get ready to see that one all over the internet.
如果说感觉发力觉得很棒，他出台。
Here it is one more time.
如果不好发，你还是发侧面。
He was leaning to the side like he had a bar under his elbow. He's like, so do you come to this table often? Here it is. Hey, what are you doing later? Yeah? First time here at the table, huh?
慢一点，放慢点，节奏别跟他节奏，他一样节奏打。
Man, we're talking about someone who took Ma Long, what, 6 games at the World Championships for the first time Ma Long ever took a World Championship title. We're talking about a 25-year-old who's looking to break into the Big Four for the Chinese national team. And NIWA's got the crowd chanting. The fan club is growing ever so quickly.
3-4.
How can you be so bold and brave yet so shy? Clever idea, but it doesn't come down. Had to wonder where NIWA was going to go with it. But that's one of his weapons. You never do know where he's going to go with it. Inside out forehand the other way. NIWA going risky. Spin, spin, no time for the ball to come up and reach its full potential. NIWA stunts the growth of the height of that bounce. And then just a little sniff after once again. So the timeout, 1 point was scored by Fang Bo right out of the timeout, and then 2 for Koki NIWA. Top edge of the racket for NIWA. Fang Bo back in the lead. Fang Bo has no more games to give. A little bit late on this one. Tries to go inside out. Good placement from Fang Bo into the body. Oh, look at the NIWA fan club. Look at those smiling faces all over. Oh, service error for Fang Bo. 1 point game. No timeouts left for Fang Bo, so the pressure is something he's going to have to deal with on his own out there. Not this time, close, very close. With a quality deep push to the very corner. Fang Bo's fast feet and the power of that spin shot make it quite difficult to control.
Let 6-8.
Oh, back edge of the table for Fang Bo. 3 point lead. Could it be another 7-gamer? Starting to look that way.
9-7.
Even when he misses the ball, the way Koki NIWA just holds out the racket, like, yeah, I'm gonna leave it on the table with lots of side spin, ding ding, getting ready in the background. Good to see her back on the World Tour. It's been some time. Wasn't able to play the Women's World Cup. I was surprised. I thought it was a let serve for a moment with the posture of Koki NIWA. Thought I heard it graze the net on the way over, but no one else seemed to. So, 1-point game, NIWA. This Fangboa takes a little stroll behind the table and is warned to play, please. Oh, clever idea, but soft touch from Fangboa. Koki NIWA, I think, wanted less spin on that. Wanted to hit it with less spin here. Tries to flick the wrist for more spin and feels like, no, go for the flat one. Ah, decisions. It's the name of the game. All right, Swedish fans have Koki NIWA's back out here. 2 game points for Fangboa. Let service, Koki NIWA, fair sport.
Let.
Good call. Always curious to see the body language in the replay. If Fangboa thought it was a let, either way, Koki NIWA saying yes. Top edge of the racket, and Fangboa takes it 11-8. We are going to a 7th and deciding game. Koki NIWA, the last hope for the non-Chinese players representing Japan, and Fangboa looking to add a little bit of credit to the case for being part of the Chinese national team's Big Four, Game 7, coming up right after this.
下がっちゃったら相手まっすぐ回り込むからラリーの感じでレシーブチキータでいいけどね、とことん最後プレッシャーかかってくると相手もやっぱミスる。
发上旋球他很少侧身，基本上发侧下的时候，这种球只要你领不住速度的时候，他那种活塞，要不然就是出台拐出去那种球，容易侧身那种活塞。其他球他现在站中间站得很死，其实你现在不用很勉强，非要去争，可以给他2反手。如果说一旦感觉他有正他侧身多的时候，一定要大胆的去那个。而你现在自己主要是还是你自己这种球，有些时候不用推特别远，一定稍微靠前。好拉的时候完全加力，不好拉的话稍微拉短，把球拉短的拉住就行了。一件事就是球点。
ノッカンもいらないです。
Time, please.
Back for game number 7.
7th
The crowd
NIWA to serve.
definitely a little bit split here,
Love
Fangboa
all.
fans. And then Sweden seeming to be behind Koki NIWA. Momentum on the side of Fangboa having one last game.
Love 1.
From this camera angle, it was tough to tell if the ball was going to be coming down, which direction it was moving, but it seemed to be centered. Only a moment later, we could realize it was behind Koki NIWA. Power on the forehand, NIWA in good position. Gets the flat one back. I think he thought the point was over. Fangboa to get through this, slapped right back. And NIWA just couldn't chase it down. As long as his ankles are intact, the match will continue. Fangboa, what a point. Oh, that shot block once again. Man, is that smooth the way he does this. Look at the angle on this ball. Wow. Fangboa hits this ball not quite the way Fan Zhendong does for the around the net at the World Championships. And the sigh of relief from Koki NIWA.
2-3.
Excited to see the different YouTube channels out there and editors that put together the chop block compilation for Koki NIWA. Also curious to see the artists who do cartoons of Miyu Kato. Really serious to see that, very excited. Threes all across the board. First towel break of the game. A little bit off the top of the net, and it comes right back with some net still on it. Fang Bo, a nice recovery there. Big point here. Fang Bo is staying on top of these shots. They're going to switch sides of the table. NIWA makes a few. Opening backhand right off the bounce. He's having some trouble as the rally continues right at the back of the table. Still alive, 1-point game. NIWA fighting. The social phenomenon, the craze following Koki NIWA. Look at this. Again, his popularity in Japan out of nowhere just started rising, and then Chinese fans as well. He waves at the China Open to one small section of the crowd, just even eye contact, and everything has changed. Koki NIWA's planet, let's see. Well played, Fang Bo, right into the body. That little bit of extra effort helps him out. The backhand in early in the rally. Koki NIWA ties it up. Second towel break of the game. And still no sign of who will win this match. Serve light topspin, a little bit more central on the table, and Fang Bo can't commit fully to that backhand over the table. This time backhand to backhand, Fang Bo is up for the task. From the middle of the table, behind the table, it becomes an open rally. Fang Bo is quite strong in the open rally, which is why Koki NIWA wants to put the pressure on early. The opening received the backhand, the quick counter inside out with the forehand. Right into the body once again. Koki NIWA decides to play it a little bit more middle of the table instead of short to the forehand side. Just can't cover. That comes down on the table. That would be something else. Ooh. Reverse pendulum serve from Fang Bo. We don't see that too often. 2-point lead here for Fang Bo. Between Harimoto and Matsudaira getting knocked out of the tournament. Some strong contenders. Koki NIWA is the last for Japan, and he's down by 2. But he saves one. The business end of the game and the match. NIWA with a second serve. If he takes this point, the match will be decided by a mere 2 points. Oh, does not come down. 2 match points for Fang Bo. NIWA sent to the ground. So close. And the crowd let the fangirls for Fangboa finish their chants before they started theirs. Serves on Fangboa's side, match points. The forehand from the backhand corner, and what a battle it was. Excellent performance from both players, but the better of the two today was the 2015 World Championship men's singles runner-up, Fang. There's the score on screen, 4-3, and what a match from world number 5, Koki NIWA. But today was Fangboa's day. He will move on to the men's singles semifinals. Enjoy the highlights. We've got another match coming up for you in just a bit. Stay right here.
2 gånger om till japanernas förtrytelse. Härnäst väntar semifinal och då ser vi en match mellan världsmästaren Ding Ning och den enda kvarvarande icke-kinesiska spelaren i tävlingen, Kazumi Ishikawa, segrare i sock för 1 år sedan. Den matchen väntar om lite drygt 5 minuter. Alltså första semifinalen, denna tävling i singel, om 5 minuter.